Okay, there it is. We are alive. 52-14 was the damage that our Lions did to the Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about it. Here we are, Lions fans. It still feels kind of surreal. 2 days after that beatdown that our boys put on the Tennessee Titans, 52-14, our Lions take care of business. Let's get into these statistics. Let's start at the top, and you know what? Let's start with the defense first. The defense gave up 14 points to the Tennessee Titans. And the thing that stood out the most was the lack of a pass rush. Before I look at what some of the guys did on defense, if you look at these numbers right here, Mason Rudolph went 22 of 38, and he had a touchdown and two interceptions, 266 yards. Now, to be honest with you, that was too good of a game for Mason Rudolph. The reason that I believe that he had that much time, excuse me, that he even had that many yards was because he has so much time in the pocket to throw. As you see, we had one sack for 8 yards. And I'm going to go down to the bottom and say, yeah, that's what I thought it was. It was Anzalone. Alex Anzalone, our linebacker, is the one who got the sacks. Now, I want to say that in these last two games without Aiden Hutchinson, our boys have 5 sacks, and I want to say 4 of them came from linebackers, meaning that it came from the blitz. We're not going to be able to hold that up for the last 10 games and hold our position. If we look at the defense and what the defense did, the stat sheet is filled up. If you look at the top, Jack Campbell led the way with 11 tackles, followed by Tyrion Arnold. Alexander Saloni and Brian Branch each had 6 tackles apiece. And as you see, there is a host of other Lions who had tackles. Trevor Nowalski, he did not have a tackle, but he did have that big interception in the first quarter. Let me see what else we want to see on this list. And as I mentioned, only one sack. So you have to say that the defense did its job. But as I've said and I mentioned, the lack of a pass rush is going to come back to hurt us. Tony Pollard had a decent game, 20 carries for 94 yards. He averaged 4.7. It looked like he had, to be honest with you, with the naked eye, it looked like he had more yards than that. But I would still say giving up 158 yards between four running backs, not necessarily four running backs, but four people who ran the ball. I would still say that the Lions defense is doing a pretty decent job, but they're going to have to tighten up this week because Josh Jacobs is probably going to carry a lot of the load this week, especially if Jordan Love is hurt. Let's move on to the offense that put up 52, well, the offense that put up all 52 points, offense combined with the special teams. But we're going to talk about the offense first. It's rare that you're going to see a line like this. Quarterback Jared Goff went 12 of 15 with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but he only had 85 yards, and the team still put up 52 points. Even Hendon Hooker got a chance to come into the game, which was awesome. Out of those 4 touchdowns we threw, one was by running back David Montgomery on the trick play that the Lions put up. He threw it to Sam Laporte in the back of the end zone. As for the running game, 24 carries for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. 11 for 127 was by Gibbs and 9 for 33 for Montgomery. I thought it was good to see David Montgomery get out there because they said that he was hurt last week. We weren't even sure he was going to play in this game, but he did, and he gave us 9 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Let's look at the receivers. There were a lot of receivers targeted. Um, Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 receivers targeted. And the stat line looked like this: 6 for 6 for Sam Laporta, 48 yards and a touchdown. Khalif Raymond had 2 for 14 with a touchdown. Brock Wright had 1 reception for a touchdown. Amon St. Brown only had 2 receptions for 7 yards and a touchdown. And there were a few other Lions who caught passes. Let's see. Turnovers was a big deal in this game. We had 2 fumbles. Where are our fumbles at? Right there, right there. I'm sorry. We had 3 fumbles actually. So the Lions did a pretty good job in the turnover field. But the star of the game, in my opinion, was the special teams. Let's scroll down here and look. Well, we had Khalil Dorsey had a one kick return for 72 yards. Khalif Raymond had 5 punt returns for 190 yards and one win for a touchdown. Jake Bates only had one kick, but it was a 51-yarder. He went 7 for 7 on extra points, giving him 10 points in the game. And Jack Fox doing what he always does: 5 punts, 305 yards with a 61-yard average. His longest was 67 yards. So, Lions fans, when you look at this stat sheet, you look and see that this is how a Super Bowl team, a Super Bowl caliber team, is supposed to handle a bottom two, bottom three team in the league. 52-14. Listen, the Lions did not hold back. They did not let the Titans at all believe that they could win this game, because after Mason Rudolph ran in that touchdown and the game was 7-7, the Titans looked like they had life in them. And remember, at one point, this game was actually 14-14. So that means that the Lions went on a 38-0 run the rest of the game. That is what a dominant team is supposed to do. You're not supposed to play around with bottom feeder teams. You're supposed to get in there and take care of business. Now, my biggest concern, and I said it at the start of this video, is definitely the pass rush. Our GM, Brad Holmes, he has to do something. We have 7 days to go to get some type of a pass rush, get some pass rushers in here. As I mentioned in my we need a pass rusher video that I did a couple of days ago, there are some guys out there that could be eligible for trades: Darius Smith, Arden Key, Khalil Mack. There are some guys out there that the Lions can go after, to bring somebody in here to put pressure on the quarterback, because, as I mentioned, we are not going to be able to keep this up without getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, one sack on Mason Rudolph, and that Tennessee Titans offensive line is actually a young line. It's a line that has not even gelled yet. One sack is just not going to cut it. You have to get pressure on the quarterback, which takes pressure off of your defensive backs. Anyway, Lions fans, what did you think about the game? Were you impressed with the game? Were you happy with the performance that our boys put on? And what do you want to see going forward? Were you happy with how the offense performed? With the defense, are you in agreement with me that we need some type of pass rusher in there, or maybe even two pass rushers in there, to get this team over the top? Because listen, the window is open right now. We cannot play there is no more playing the long game. Jared Goff could go into training camp next year and he could be hurt and not see a snap, and that could be the whole season. We could start to lose players soon. It's time to strike now while the iron is hot, while the window is open. Brad Holmes, what I would like to see you do is get out there and get us somebody. All right, Lions fans, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell over there on YouTube so we can keep talking Lions football. You see at the bottom of the screen our Twitter/X page is scrolling. Go ahead and give us a follow over there. And you see on the screen our TikTok. Give us a follow over there as well. All right, Lions, we have a big one this week: the Green Bay Packers. Whether Jordan Love plays or not, it is a big game coming up. So let's see what happens in 5 days from now. That's all I got on this one. Until next time, peace.